This Kinesis keyboard goes hard. It also goes that way and that way, has 3 space bars, delayed macros, onboard programming, and like 37.4 other really cool features that I'm excited to test out. This is my unboxing, sound test, and review of the Kinesis, not Kinesis, Kinesis TKO tournament style keyboard. Unboxing first, while I tell you a little bit about the keyboard from my understanding and research. First of all, see that bad guy right there? Kinesis is all about ergonomic keyboards for the most part. That's what I've always known them for. Premium ergonomic keyboards. I'm gonna have a review on this guy coming out pretty soon when I figure out how to use it. This keyboard, however, is much more plug and play, Mac, Linux, Windows, and is geared towards obviously gaming. Based on their website, they call it the tournament keyboard. Comes with a super nice, really nice hard shell case. The rest of the unboxing, and then I'll tell you about it. A few extra switches. Kale box switches is offered with the TKO. It looks like they sent me Kale box reds. I wish they'd sent me Kale box pinks or whites. It's funny, it's a gaming keyboard, right? So people are gonna, linear switches, but Pete over here is like, clicky switches. Actually, there's some Kale box browns in there too. Wait a minute, no whites. That's unfortunate. Okay, so this is a 60% layout with obviously function keys and stuff where you can access different layers to get to, well, the function row keys, as well as some standard other keys. Aluminum framing on the side. 3 space bars, worth noticing that right off the bat. 1, 2, 3, count them. And you can apparently, first of all, from what I understand, the onboard programming of different shortcuts and macros for that matter is apparently really easy. This is just what I've heard through the grapevine. I'm excited to see that because you could change these 3 space bars to different functions and macros. Ooh, that's not linear switches. They sent me the whites. They know me. If you're judging me because I like clicky switches, judge away. It's fine. But when it comes to Kale box switches, they're the best. Clicky switches, period. The little click bar mechanism, so much better than like the normal clicky switches. So much better. So don't judge me. And I'm not a professional gamer, so again, don't judge me. So first of all, braided cable, nice. Quick start guide, nice. This does have they call it the Smart Set app, which is just their GUI, graphical user interface, for programming keys and backlighting and stuff like that. This thing is supposedly, looking at their website, just loaded with those gaming features and customization and stuff like that. First thoughts, and then I'll do a sound test really quick. Well, first of all, I just want to see this. Like the tinting and leaning and stuff. Like, okay, all keyboards do this. Hang on, can you see that any better? So all keyboards do that. Not all keyboards, but most keyboards, right? Ooh, and it's got the 3-way, of course. All right, I'm listening. Boom, tilt the other way. I could use this. When I saw this on their website, I was like, why don't all keyboards do this? Because I stand at my desk. You can see this is actually raised right now. I walk at my desk. There's a treadmill. You can't see it, but it's right there. I would love this feature on all keyboards. The ability to tilt the other way. This is gonna be even higher than that. That's brutal. Like you would never do this sitting at a desk probably, unless you were like really high up. But again, Kinesis is an ergonomics company, or they're a keyboard company, but they specialize in ergonomically friendly. How do you say that? This is sweet. Dude, this is sweet. I'll do my full review after the sound test, but I just wanted to show that off. Tinting. And then there's tinting, not tilting, that would be back and forward, but you could just whip out either of these guys on one side, and now your keyboard is tinted to that way or this way. It's not designed for like ongoing typing, obviously, but specifically for gaming. Actually, I would do it the other way because I am right-handed. My right hand is on the mouse. My left hand, the palm is no longer placing down, which is technically, this is not what we want. I don't know why all keyboards are like this. Props to Kinesis for thinking this through. You want, this is like a more natural position or whatever. So the idea here is that your palm isn't like this, which gets like weird stuff in here, but it's actually just natural this way, which is really cool. Kudos to them for thinking of that. That's brilliant. I really like that. So a few other things, sound test. Lots of functions and programming stuff, which maybe I'll get into after the sound test. But I will say on the keycaps, these are shine through, double shot PBT. On the keycaps, I don't know if you can see that very well in this video. It's super dark in here. But there are little labels, I can't remember what they call it, for the various shortcuts and functions or whatnot. Function key here, and onboard, I can't remember what they call this, like the Smart Set key, basically like a programming key. You hold this down, You hold like right shift or another button like this, and then you can do like onboard programming right away. It's pretty cool. Hot swap, so you can put in different switches. Also, they sell a bare bones kit, as in you could buy this exactly, or you could just buy it without the switches and keycaps for like less money. It's like less than $100 or something. It's pretty cool. I like that. All right, let's plug it in and do a sound test. Quick note, I'm actually gonna do a standing sound test, because why not? Kinesis, ergonomics, right? The microphone will be in the same spot as literally every single other one of my sound tests, because I'm gonna play some like comparison sound typing test here with other keyboards. But just know, like I'm standing, it might look a little weird, the angles are gonna be different than usual, but the sound will be the same. Alrighty then, it's time for Pete's review of the Kinesis TKO. Right off the bat, my 20-second review is that I absolutely adore the tilting and tinting of this keyboard, so much so that this gets the absolute Pete's seal of approval. That's my 20-second version. All of the other fancier features are great too. It's good. 3 space bars, customizable, all over the place, feels nice, feels premium, looks premium. It's all great. It's like, all right, time for Pete's review of the TKO. So the 20-second version is, this is a solid A- keyboard for all of the fancier features, the look, the feel, the sound, all that stuff. It's really good. But it's made into an A+ by the tilting and tinting on this keyboard. It's just so good. This is a shockingly good keyboard. I was not prepared for it to be this enjoyable to use and to customize, simple, and quite frankly, ergonomically friendly for me personally. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, 2 things I really like, 2 things I really don't like. Let's just start there. Number 1, the tinting. I use a treadmill at my desk most of the time when I'm working, and I'm at least standing if I'm gaming. And so the ability to tilt this guy like this, facing away from me, tilting away from me, is an absolute game changer. I'm a tall person, my desk only goes so high. It is really, really nice and comfortable. I can't overstate it enough. I've been blown away by the tilting away from you keyboard. Why don't all keyboards have this? They should. Okay, that said, I did not do any left or right tinting. I don't really, who does that? I'm sure some people might need that or use that, not me, I don't really care. But tilts away from you is just A+. I won't use this keyboard all the time. There's actually 2 things. Number 1, I still have not gotten used to the 3 space bars. I wanted to customize this one, I'll tell you why in just a second, but I can't because I naturally hit this one for space, and it would take a lot to deprogram my brain and my fingers in order to kind of like reach over for this space right here. I hit left all the time too, so I couldn't really customize this one. It has to be a space bar for me personally. That was a little frustrating. Another thing I'll add, just a really small thing actually, I kept hitting the middle in between this space bar and that space bar, and it was a little weird. It was a little jarring. I didn't get like double spaces at any point. It usually just kind of registered. I'd hit one or the other mainly. It just felt a little weird. It's like, oh, is this wrong? Should I be programming my brain to do this or this? I'm not sure. So let me show you one of the, this is really like the only other con I have, period. I like that they include on the keycaps all of the function shortcuts. I feel like if you have a 60% keyboard, it should come with keycaps that has that, just to be more user-friendly. These are very bright. You can see the text is white on there. I could use gray. I could make it be a little bit more stealth mode. I think that would be okay. Doesn't bother me, but there you go. I like that it's on there. However, your home position for your right hand, as in your index finger, is on J. This is where touch typing begins. These are your arrow keys. There's no dedicated arrow keys. It's a 60% keyboard. They don't have that. So you have to access them via functions. I don't like them right here. How do I do this? Function key is right here on the pinky. I tried so hard to get used to this and I just couldn't. It was very frustrating. I want them to be down here somewhere. By the way, I'm sure I could customize this with their software, but there's a lot of other cool things right there that I would also have to remap. Well, maybe not a ton, it wouldn't have been that bad. But I wanted to be able to press the function with my thumb and then do my arrow keys. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll do the spacebar on the right. I'll remap this to function, and then I could just do my arrow keys kind of where my fingers are. That might actually be kind of nice, right? That feels okay. And then I kept pressing that for space. So I don't know if I could do that or not. So I wish those arrow keys weren't on the home position. I'm sure ergonomically this sort of makes sense if you can get used to it. You don't have to move your hand really. You could just hit your pinky over where that function is and then do the space bar. I don't know. That felt rough to me. Okay, other than that, I seriously do not have a lot of cons for this keyboard at all. It feels great. Everything about it feels great. It's solid, it's aluminum, it's not gonna bend, it's not gonna break easily. Keycaps, super high quality. It feels great to type on. It just feels good. I mean, both ergonomically and just as a mechanical keyboard, and I've tried hundreds of them, or actually over 800, maybe not hundreds. And this feels really good. Check. Sound, I love KL box white switches in general. I was actually thinking it was gonna be a little louder. Or maybe this is a good thing. I have the clicky switches. Again, these are like some of the only clicky switches I love, KL box clickies. But it just, I don't know, I always wanted it to be louder. It's kind of weird, right? Usually you would want things to be dialed in a little bit, or a little bit deeper, or a little bit higher, like clacky or thocky or tappy or whatever. This just felt a little bit more muted than I wanted. It doesn't sound like a muted keyboard, but I was surprised, like, it just doesn't sound loud. Maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. It doesn't matter that much. Sounds great, it looks great, it feels great. I wish, here's my bottom line here. First of all, I'm gonna continue using this for gaming. I'm not gonna use it for work because I want my arrow keys and I don't know. I just want additional functionality that a 60% keyboard doesn't give me. I can't use a 60% keyboard for my work. I've tried several times on several keyboards and this one didn't make the cut either. However, this thing was just too good with the tinting and tilting not to use standing up and while I walk on my treadmill, my desk treadmill. And so I have used this for the past 2 weeks. I just love it. It's just fantastic. I use a 60% for gaming anyways. The arrow keys don't bother me, I don't use that at all. Just so good. It's just so good. I would seriously buy this keyboard just for this. It would be hard to sell me on that. If you had told me like, oh, it tilts away from you, it could be helpful, I would have been like, all right, is it really worth the money? I don't know. But now that I have it, I'm like, this is awesome. This feels perfect for me. It just works really well. They should have this on all keyboards. Why don't they? Good job, Kinesis, for doing this. Just a shockingly, surprisingly good keyboard all around. Seriously fun. And it's a gaming brand of Kinesis, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it's kind of geared towards gaming. So that's all I got. Great job, Kinesis. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you love me or this keyboard, drop me a comment in the channel and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.